Ndị be anyị ekene m unu ọzọ ụbọchị nke taa. Daalụ rinne ụmụ ife ka unu si wee na-esoro anyị ya na-eme n'elu akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa na Eastern News 24. Anyị sita nche na ya dịka echi na-eche ada agwụ agwụ, otu anyị kwuru otu aka ya dịrị dị. Ise dịka o si dị, anyị ma na ịtụ na vootu gị online. Ọ bụ na ịtụbe vootu gị ekebe alụ ka ị tụọ ya, maka anyị post ya na community the link ị ga-esi wee tụọ the vote. Anyị ga-epostụkwu ya ọzọ after this morning broadcast. Dịka o si dị, daalụ rinne ka unu si na-esoro anyị. Ya wetara ntata bụ morning tea ka anyị na-akpụ ya n'elu akwụkwọ, dịka anyị si kwuo unu nkwa na anyị ga na-ewetara unu update ọbụla bụ gbasịta maka ife na-eme n'ala Igbo na gbasịta maka nnwere onwe. So ọ bụ ya bụ ife ka kabara alụ wee wetara unu n'elu akwụkwọ. Dịka ihe ga ya bụ ife ga-esie ya, ife a bụ Biafran Prime Minister ọ ka na-aga n'iru n'akwụkwọ ụmụ Igbo okwu gbasịta maka nnwere onwe. Ị ga-esi ya bụ ife drọpụrụ anyị kọmentị gị ife iche gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ndị a niile kwugasị n'iru akwụkwọ. Alright, over to you, sir.
Freedom, and it is my right to fight and protect my people, and that I will do until our freedom is achieved. While in Africa today, many countries in Africa are against same-sex marriage. I want you to understand the evolution of freedom because of our culture in Africa. But let me remind you that America was there centuries ago. Where Africa is today, America was there centuries ago. And let me also make it very clear, I am not advocating for same-sex marriage. I am only taking you back to the history and the evolution of freedom. This, what American government, including the President of America, is supporting today. Of course, not Donald Trump. But those, Obama, Biden, and co, supporting today was abomination in America centuries ago. A man called Oscar Wilde, in his speech, Love That Dare Not Speak Its Name. This renewed speech by Oscar Wilde, made during his trial for gross indecency with other male persons. This is perhaps one of the most emotional and poignant speech ever made. In it, Wilde Oscar described his love for Lord Alfred Douglas as such a great affection of an elder man for a young man. Choose the love that dare not speak its name. He described his love as beautiful, fine, and noblest form of affection. But Wilde Oscar explained the word does not understand it. He explained that the world back then does not understand it. Indeed, they mock his love as unnatural and unlawful. But Wilde's speech proved just the opposite, that there is, in fact, nothing like unnatural about it. After the speech, the atheist Max Weber told a friend that Oscar's speech was simply wonderful and carried the whole court right away, quite tremendous burst of applause. But in all the applauses given to Wilde, it was not enough. A second trial, Wilde was sentenced to 2 years in prison with hard labor for nothing other than his attraction to a member of the same sex. It was this time in prison that led to his tragic death. He died in prison a few years later. But today, the present and the past president of the United States of America are in the forefront, championing same-sex marriage, that somebody was sentenced to death and the person 2 years with hard labor and the person died in prison. Obama, Biden, and many of them in the United States today, leaders, are the one championing same-sex marriage. It has become law and legal, but someone in the name of Oscar Wilde died for it. Fellow Biafrans, evolution of freedom. You make history and make history happen. That is what Simon Ekpa, under the Biafra Republic government in exile, is doing. That history is what I and the entire cabinet and the supporters and sponsors are making today. As the fight for equality of women continued as far back as 1900, one of the leading feminist activists called Pankhurst incited a meeting to rebellion. Pankhurst was quoted by Nelson Mandela as supporting their militancy rebellion against apartheid. She said in a meeting, "I incite this meeting to rebellion." This particular stand by Emmeline Pankhurst is similar to a radical feminist message, that of militant protest and action. In her speech, she was made and become the leader of this Women's Social and Political Union. She herself set that particular union up in October 1912. And it stirred up the passion of all who heard it. Amongst other things, Pankhurst Welcome back. We apologize for that interruption in the stream. As the fight for equality of women continued from 1900, one of the leading feminist activists called Pankhurst incited a meeting to rebellion. This speech, though not quite a famous one in freedom fighting, not to be compared to a very popular one, Death of Freedom. The speech was made to the Women's Social and Political Union, which Emmeline Pankhurst herself set up in October 1912, and stirred up the passion of all those who heard it. Amongst other things, Pankhurst urged her supporters to be militant in their own way and to do whatever they can to express their militancy. Protests in the House of Commons, smash windows and express your anger and attack the sacred idol of property. She explained that because the militancy of Baptists had helped to bring about change back then, the suffragette must also adopt radical tactics of civil disobedience. Her last word, though, and perhaps the most powerful one, to rapturous applause and cheers in the auditorium, Pankhurst finished by exclaiming, "I incite this meeting to rebellion and addressing the movement. Take me if you dare, but this isn't just a foolhardy rhetoric. Many suffragettes spent time in prison for their actions, and a larger number of them went on hunger strike whilst behind bars. So, whatever the government does to her, Pankhurst declared, you will not keep me in the prison," making her speech more than just a radical call to arms, but an open defiance of the government oppression. This defiance went on for 2 more years until the outbreak of World War I, when many suffrage women and the movement dedicated themselves toward the war effort. It was at that end of the war, in 1918, that the first women from 8.4 million of them got the vote in the United States, in the United Kingdom. I want you people to understand the evolution of freedom that all of you enjoy today, that people paid price. Many, including the government, did not believe in the vision, and I call them the visionary leaders of this world. Every freedom fighter is a visionary leader. Vision carriers. We see tomorrow, we see years to come, and after we are gone, our world will become law to those that are still alive. That is exactly the way it is. Everything we do today will become your law, because we see the future that the idiotic and the buffoon leaders of today could not see. Corrupt leaders who only interested in their selfish interests, who only interest and nothing else. So we see beyond human comprehension. Just like today, we build and unveil Biafra Army because we know that in this 2024, Nigeria will be at war. The Islamists will be everywhere killing Nigerians. Today, only in Biafra land that they are not killing. Our security challenges in Biafra is state-sponsored, state agent, and state police and military in uniform. These are the security challenges that Biafra people are facing today. Not terrorists from Sahel. They don't dare to come. We control our territory. And we deal with them whenever we want. Now our focus is on the legitimization of Nigeria. A vision that Simon Ekpa and the Biafra government saw, including Mazen Amdekano, saw it many years ago. These are visionary leaders that carries vision and want to use it to change their life, or the life of their people, before it is late. Evolution of freedom. The evolution of freedom, and someone must take the lead. The Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile is taking that bullet today. And I will take the bullet for Biafra all the way to Biafra freedom and on your behalf. I want us to look at Gandhi. One of the most famous and important speech of Gandhi is Quit India. Quit India. It played a central role in the Quit India movement, which helped to gain India independence from Britain. In the speech, Gandhi reinforced his commitment to pacifism and non-violence. A non-violent soldier of freedom will covet nothing for himself. He fights only for the freedom of his country. He also declared that once independence has been won, it will be the people of India to decide democratically who rule their country. He expressed his wish for equal freedom for all and India independence, but he encouraged his supporters not to hate the British people, only to hate British imperialism. He went on to say, we must therefore purge ourselves of hatred, because hatred can never bring about justice. Instead, the Indian independence movement must be a friend to the British, whilst also fighting for the freedom of their country. Only then will their 1922 trial. Trial. people. He described the struggle of his countrymen for independence as one of tears, fire, and blood. This struggle Lumumba went on should make them profoundly proud because it was a noble and just struggle that put an end to the humiliating bondage imposed on us by force, just like the Biafran people are going through it today. His countrymen had suffered. They were insulted, just like the Biafra people, simply because of the color of their skin. They were, as he said, treated as second-class citizens, just like the Biafra people can never be president in Nigeria. Living in tumble-down straw huts, whilst the white Europeans live in magnificent houses in the Congo's city. But all of this had passed. The Congo regained its independence, and in that freedom, Lumumba was determined to show the world what the black man can do, just like many of us in Biafra liberation are saying today. Their country would be the center of radiance of the whole of Africa. They would establish new just laws, put an end to discrimination, and strive for a peace of courage and goodwill. Lumumba plan constituted a truly inspiring, hopeful vision. But sadly, a year after Congo's independence, Lumumba was killed by troop loyal to the army chief, and his dream for Congo never become reality. Those of you in Biafra land that are waiting to become the Congo Army Congo, or those army of Congo in Biafra land, you will be eliminated in due time by the true patriotic forces. You will never have a place in Biafra land. The Congo army will never have a place in Biafra land after independence of Biafra has been restored. Fellow Biafrans, I can go on and on and on, making references to the evolution of freedom, how men and the women shaping the world that we all enjoy today by their sacrifice and selfless services to their people. Of course, I cannot end this great speech today and address to the Biafra people as we are making progress without making reference to Martin Luther King Jr. in his speech, I Have a Dream. King started by describing the miracles of the segregation of the chains of discrimination under which African American has suffered for so many years, despite their supposed emancipation. He refers to the Declaration of Independence as a bad check. As far as black people were concerned, in that their unalienable right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness had never been upheld. But Martin Luther King saw hope after this summer of the Negro legitimate discontent. There would be an invigorating optimism.
Anybody can moon also. Dalolin and I think Kodakado Namozo, Nikasi Bobo number. On an Ugunia Biafran Prime Minister Ukasini Bakubo, the Chiche, Kifu, Basta Makia Bife, no Denkegi, Ginikiwaleku, Basta Makia Bifendani in Olutagasiaka di Chiche, Basta Maka Biafra ID and the database. Genkiwaleku no Denke Basta Makia Bife, Kabarake drop right the comment and the comment below. And cause the area which Eastern is 24, I see when we don't know. Nugo Zia in a